Happy New Year, Floss Tube. This is Gira 80, or Gemma. This is the third attempt at recording this video. I've had lighting issues. It is January in England, and it was very dark this morning and very wet, and now the sun has actually come out to play, but then it also affected the lighting of where I'm sitting. This is my stitchy corner. So with all my husband's DVDs behind me, not so inspiring. But yeah, so hopefully I'll be able to get this video up and uninterrupted before my daughter comes home from school. Yeah, so actually this is very delayed, this video. I was meant to post a video up in December because I try and do monthly videos now, and with everything going on, as a lot of people have a lot of busy time just before the holidays or the Christmas period. I'd also not long started a new job, and although I knew it'd get busy at Christmas, I didn't quite realise how busy it was going to get, and that most of my days was taken up working, and then obviously coming home and with my family here and the rest of it, it's more difficult to get stitching or get a video in. So I'm sorry about the delay, but this is my January Floss Tube video. So let's get started. Okay, so after my Dragon Quaker sampler, which is actually on its way to the framers to get framed, I had a bit of a time period because I finished it sooner than I expected. I had a bit of a time period where I knew I'd be starting the mirror sale on the 1st, but I still needed to stitch, I still wanted to stitch. So I decided that I was going to start on a primitive hair chart that I'd bought for myself. I love the primitive hair designs. Miss Milky Bar Kid, the Little Red Riding Hood design, is a primitive hair design. She's on Etsy. I think if you put her name, The Primitive Hair, in the Google search engine, you should be able to find the shop as well. But yeah, so I decided to get in the Christmas spirit, as it was a bit of a Christmassy design, and do that in between time. I didn't get along as far as I'd hoped. Like I said, I underestimated how much of my time would be taken up. But I've decided, although I generally only work on one whip at a time, I've decided that I'm actually going to put it up and then bring it out as a November-December whip each year, and it will help with the Christmas spirit. So I'll just show you that. Hold on. So it's the Primitive Hair Christmas Carol sampler, which looks like this. Very rustic. I love the colours, and I love the fabric that she's used. The Primitive Hair also do their own fabric, which you can use and buy from her. I didn't, because I didn't want to wait, because I'm impatient. So I opted for a fabric that was very similar. It calls for a 30 count, so I purchased Weeks Dye Works 30 count, and it's called Baby's Breath, I believe, and this is how far, this is how far I've managed to get, which isn't far at all for me. Because like I said, I totally underestimated how much time I needed to be at work. So I enjoyed it. It's got a lot of hand dyed, I believe they are Weeks Dye Works, I believe. No, they might not be. Totally unorganised, you're not surprised, are you? The Gentle Art sampler threads. So, and there's some beautiful colours, and I love the way the lamppost has come out, and it's the same thread. I don't know if you can see, but the variegation is lovely. So I will definitely continue to stitch it, but I think it's possibly more of a Christmas piece, so I'll bring that out maybe a little bit earlier, more November time, to get that done and get that completed. So that was a really enjoyable project that I started work on, which then of course, because I only work on one project at a time, that's taken me to the 1st of January, which actually, even as it was, I struggled to start on the 1st of January because I stayed with my parents on New Year's Eve, and we didn't get in till sort of afternoonish, and by the time you've sorted everything out once you're home, and it's just been a very tiring holiday period for me. So yeah, I did struggle, but I did get a few stitches in, and I did put it up on Instagram. For those of you that are on Instagram, I'm listed under Simply Couture Collection, but I will make a note of it in the down bar. So, but this is my progress to date. So I don't know if you can see that. So there is beads, quite a lot of beadwork going on, and I have used Kreinik and Petite Treasure Braid. I think I said it in my last video, but the Petite Treasure Braid versus the Kreinik, it was actually listed for Kreinik, but if I've found a link between the two where they can actually, because I don't have enough stock, but where they can actually, there's an alternative and it's a Petite Treasure Braid, I've substituted it. Obviously I couldn't do that on all of them, so I've bought Kreinik where I couldn't substitute for Petite Treasure Braid, and I've bought the Petite Treasure Braid where I could. So her wings on the corners here, oh, this is going to be difficult, on her corners, on the corners here, that's actually Petite Treasure Braid. Now for those of you that follow me on Instagram, I did actually put a notice up about it, is that the design actually does call for outlining in Kreinik, which is what appears to be this black outline around the wings. I'm not convinced, so what I'm going to choose to do is continue with the wings but not outline them, and then if I decide that I actually don't like the black outlining and that it's a little bit too harsh, although it isn't actually black, it's a very dark green, but it looks like it's black on here. But if I think that it's too harsh, then I've only got to unpick that small amount. Otherwise, all I've got to do is just add it back. So that's my plan of action. So from now on, I'm just going to be doing the wings without the outline, just to see what it looks like. So it is on my Q-snap at the moment, but I will be changing it over to my normal roller frame, because I am doing the beading as I go, only on certain sections of it, and on a roller frame I've got enough leeway where it won't actually get rolled up into the pattern. My roller frame is wide enough to be able to do that. Otherwise, obviously, you need to be aware that you can't, if you're going to bead, you can't necessarily put Q-snaps for sure, or you have to be careful with your roller frame as you're rolling them up, because you can damage them. The larger Mill Hill treasures, I'm not even going to put on until the very end, but because this is quite heavily beaded, I wanted to do it as I went along for the most part. So within the pattern itself, there's a couple of beads that come out away from the pattern. I don't mind doing them after, but within the pattern as I'm stitching, I find it helps me if I bead as I go along. If I can do that, then I will do that. So yeah, so obviously that's my Mirasal, and I'm loving everyone's progress. I know there's lots of people that have started their Mirasal and are posting lots of progress on Instagram, and it's great, it's really nice. And obviously a couple of the videos that have come up since New Year's, it's really good. I love watching everyone's progress and their fabric choices and things like that. Oh, my fabric choice, I think we'd already discussed this, but just as a shout out, is the Mottled Sage and it's actually an opalescent fabric, although you can't see that at all on screen, but it is actually an opalescent fabric, and it's from the Crafty Kitten. So, but just to remind everybody, that's what my pattern will look like. So it's a deer, I believe that's how you say it, a deer, the garden fairy. So yeah, I'm really pleased. I wish I had more time to make more progress on it, but you know, I will get there in the end. So yeah, that's kind of my up-to-date stitchy plans. Not too many, or not plans so much, but what I'm doing at the moment, my whips. So there's not too much else going on. Obviously I'm still continuing to do the Country Cottage Needleworks ornaments, so they're being done, but we're quite far behind compared to you guys in the States. So obviously as they come through, and because I've been limited with the amount of stitchy time that I've actually had, I wanted to start the Mirasol first, so I'll finish the little ornament that I've got now. I did take it with me to my in-laws to do, I've done a few stitches in at Christmas, but again it's so busy, and you're chatting and things like that, you don't want to look like you're just getting on with it in the corner. So yeah, but it's all good, everything's fine. I have lots of plans for 2015. Like I said, I'm a one project person, so I try to get one project done and then move on to the next, only because I could so easily be a serial starter. So I've decided that I'm best to just do things one at a time. Although I'm going to put the Primitive Hare, the Christmas Carol back up for Christmas, I know it will always be in the back of my mind that I need to get that finished, and it's not a problem because the fabric's lovely to stitch on. I haven't had any problems with the 30 count, so and that's great. So and obviously I'll just get the mirror, the fairy done now. That's what I'll be working on. But as to my plans, well, I've ordered patterns. Again, could be slightly a pattern hoarder, but I have ordered patterns, and I still do like most of those patterns, so I will be keeping them. I have ordered more out of my Christmas stash money, which aren't here yet, so there will be more stash coming. I've also ordered some fabric and signed up to a Fabric of the Month club as well, so I'm really excited about that, and looking forward to my little presents coming through the door, which is the way I look at them when I see them. It's like little gifts. But yeah, I do have some idea of what I will be doing or wanting to stitch. So my next project after the Mirabilia will probably be, and most people have seen this one, but I do really like it, will probably be the Glendon Place. I'm just going to take it out of the bag, sorry. Sleepy Hollow. I just love this pattern. I loved the story. I liked the Johnny Depp film. The Disney film used to creep me out, but I still liked it. So yeah, I just liked the story of Sleepy Hollow. So I knew I wanted this pattern, so eventually I managed to get my hands on it. I believe the moon, there will be a few things I'll change. I believe the moon, it actually calls for the water lilies, lemon and lime, which is really cool because it's got that mixed variegated thread of the lemon and lime, and it gives an eerie glow in the background. However, I don't know whether I see someone do it or has seen something similar where there's a glow in the dark thread by DMC. I'd like to give that a go because I just think the moon behind that in glow in the dark would be really cool. So I'm going to be trying a glow in the dark thread for the moon for sure. I don't know about the skeletons yet, but for the moon, I'm really looking forward to seeing how that goes. Also, it asks for 28 count Haunted Cashel linen hand dyed by Picture This Plus, which is lovely. It's like according to this picture, because you can't always go by the pictures, but it looks like a mixture of greys and blues, and it's lovely and mottled. I probably won't go for the Picture This Plus. I'll probably go for a fabric very similar, but I would prefer to use one of the hand-dyed fabrics from some of the people that I already get hand-dyed fabrics from, so that Diverberry, Jodrell Designs, the Crafty Kitten or Sparklies. So I'll have a look when the time comes for me to kit it up, or come close to the end of my Mirabilia and I come to kit this up. That's when I'll start to have a look and pick which ones I feel would be better for it. But yeah, so I'm really looking forward to doing something maybe a little bit darker for me, especially with the Dragon Quaker sampler and other ones that I've done, the Strawberry Cheesecake, which had the speciality stitches in it and things like that. They're nice. I love the designs, and they're pastels, or they're cutesy, or but I quite liked this. I think this would be quite nice to have a bit of a break and do something a little bit darker and for me. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that. Then after that, depending on how long that takes, I did succumb and buy myself a chatelaine. I haven't kitted it up at all, and that will definitely be a work in process, because as you know, they're not cheap to kit up, but it's the mandalas that I'm particularly interested in, and I love them. The ones that I've seen, even the non-completed one, when people put up their progress of the chatelaines, everything about them, I just fall in love with them. They're beautiful. So yeah, I really wanted one, and I bought myself one. Again, like I said, I haven't even started to kit it up yet, because I think I'll do that as I go. And I probably have decided that this calls for, obviously it calls for lots of things, but this one actually calls for, let me just get, the needlepoint silk. I'm probably going to switch that out for DMC. I'm sure the silks are absolutely beautiful to use. I don't doubt it for a second, but I probably am going to switch them out for DMC just to keep the cost just that little bit lower. I'm not really willing to sacrifice anything else. So I'll keep to the water lilies that it calls for, the dinky dyes that it calls for, and there's one thread gatherer silk. The Rainbow Petite Treasure braid, absolutely, I prefer to use that. I've noticed a difference between the Kreinik and the Petite Treasure braid, and I much prefer using the Petite Treasure braid. The Delica beads and the Swarovski crystals, well, yes, they're much more expensive than Mill Hill beads. What can I say? But I'll probably go through European cross stitch, and I will probably buy the bead set from them. I feel that that's probably the easiest and cheapest way for me to do it, because again, I think I'd just like to try and complete one as much as possible, and I think that in my opinion, that there probably is a big difference between the Delica beads and the Mill Hill beads. I may buy them, I may kit it up, and if I choose to do a chatelaine in the future, then I may decide that actually it would be worth doing the Mill Hill beads, and the Delica beads aren't that much of an issue for me. But I feel that I'm actually going to go with the Delica beads on this occasion, but I'm near enough certain that I'm definitely going to swap the needlepoint silks for the DMCs. So yeah, so the chatelaine that I have chosen is this one, which is the Taj Mahal. It's really hard to tell on this camera, isn't it? to be fair, it's really hard to tell on the picture how much detail there is, although I literally noticed today that there's someone on Instagram that was doing the centre of this and had posted a picture up of it, and it's absolutely stunning. So you think I'm not going to be disappointed. I believe in any of the chatelaines. They're very sort of my sort of thing anyway, things that I find pretty and attractive. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to starting that. As to when and what and how that's happening, I'm not setting any steadfast plans, because then I just get irritated with myself. It will be Mirabilia, it will definitely be Sleepy Hollow afterwards, and then hopefully it will be the Chatelaine. But as I've said, I have got some more stash coming, and I've ordered patterns that I've had my eye on for a while, so it could be that they come through and I'll be a bit like, oh, I want those ones, I want to do those ones now. So, I'm not too sure. And the Chatelaine does ever so slightly frighten me a little bit, but that wouldn't put me off trying it. I do have other priorities that I want to get stitching first, and then I'll move on to the Chatelaine. So yeah, really, to be honest, as much as I've been away for 6 weeks, I've been working most of them and spending time with family, which was great, over the holidays, and I haven't really done or acquired any other stash as such. That could be set to change. I have ordered myself, you've all been enablers, and I have ordered myself out of my Christmas money one of those bead boxes. I kept telling myself, oh, I don't have enough beads to need to use those, but then I probably actually will, because even after the Mirabilia, at the moment they're all in a little Ziploc bag, and I just think, oh, it'll be easier just trying to open the container and making sure that you don't knock it, or it's just going to be easier to put them in. So I've got Christmas money, so I treated myself, and that's probably what I would that's what I did with the other stash that I've got coming. So I've got a Tempting Tangles design that I've had my eye on for a little while as well, and also a kit which is very unlike me, but I just really like it. I'm going to see what the fabric's like. I may have to switch out the fabric depending on what I feel like the quality of the fabric's like, but I don't know. I've never had a Thea Governor's, I think it's Thea Governor's? No, it's Thea, but sorry if I've butchered your surname, kit before, so the fabric could be really good. But I'm going to go and have a look. When it comes through, I'll have a look and decide what to do with that. And also, I'll hopefully have an update of, I'll be able to take a picture and show you of my framed Quaker sampler on the wall, which will be really nice. So haven't quite decided where we're going to put it yet, because it is a reasonable sized piece, but yeah, it'd be nice, and it'd be nice to see some artwork up in my house. So like I said before, we don't particularly, me and my husband don't agree on artwork particularly, and but he feels compelled to put it up in the house if I've made it. Always a good plan. So obviously that's why I've made it. So yeah, so I'll be looking forward to deciding where to put that and things in the future. So a big hi to everyone on FlossTube. If you don't make videos, then I encourage you to do so. We're not scary, we're not frightening. So, because it's been great, I love catching up, and with all of you new FlossTubers, it's really good. I do fall behind the videos quite a while, not just me, but like just watching videos, because I just literally didn't have time to watch them over the Christmas period, but it's been great because I can stitch and then watch at the same time. So I've really enjoyed catching up with all your videos and all your amazing Mirabilia sales, and how all your other projects are going. So yeah, please keep posting, and I will be speaking to you again in February. I won't leave it this long next time. Okay, bye FlossTubers.